Flex with unprecedented deals this week. Who knows what they're going to drop tomorrow? The last 4 days in a row, I picked up the vacuum for like $60. I picked up the sander for like $60. I've also got the rotary hammer coming. That was $100. When I picked up my vacuum, though, I did pay a little bit more for shipping so I could get it here. If you're looking for some of those deals and you're having trouble, be careful with those websites, especially when you sign up as the guest, because when you're navigating to select your free gifts or the tool that comes with it, sometimes it'll change your shipping location or the address or the store, sometimes your payment method. You really got to be paying attention to what it's asking you as you're selecting through, because you're frantically trying to get this deal. And then next thing you know, now you're having to go pick the darn thing up from the store. So what's going on, Caleb Ross? For me, I was trying to get the rear handle today, and I had to change the zip code just to be able to get the tool. It took me like 45 minutes of fighting the Lowe's website, and I almost had to go to Dallas to go pick it up. So, yeah, you just got to be careful whenever you're doing these deals. The one today was actually a glitch, so it wasn't supposed to be a free tool. So earlier today, I was like, damn. And I've already made the video. I might not drop it. I made the video earlier today, and it's already scheduled for tomorrow. But it was kind of the same lines here. What the heck is Flex doing? Are they going away? What's going on? I don't know for sure. I know they just dropped the 12-volt line. So I don't think Flex is going away, but they feel a lot like the DeLorean, where the whole thing was just to launder money, and the cars weren't actually built very well. It feels like they're just purposely tanking this company. Now that they've hidden all this money, they're like, okay, now we can just make it go away. It's so crazy. It's almost like Lowe's is just liquidating all of their Flex back stock and just trying to get rid of it. But if those tools weren't supposed to be free, maybe they're going to hang around for a little bit longer. I'm not sure. But today it was looking like, dude, that's the end of it for Flex. Picked up the SDS on Saturday and had to go to Burleson to pick it up. You live in South Grand Prairie. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They almost did that to me. I had to go pick up something the other day. I was pissed. I canceled the order and then shipped it. And they held on to like $100 of my dollars for a couple of days. I was trying to get the sander, and I was checking out, and the next thing I know, it was like, you got to go pick it up. And I was like, I ain't going picking up crap, dude. Like, screw that. Made a video on today. I'll check it out, Caleb. I picked up the SDS on Saturday and had to go to Burleson to pick it up. I live in South Grand Prairie. Yeah, I already read that. That's a hike, dude, for an SDS. See, for me, that's worth $70 just to ship it to my house. So I've spent quite a bit of money on shipping just to get this stuff to the house. But I didn't have to worry about them trying to cancel the order, or an employee getting a hold of the deal in the store and then canceling the order, trying to save it for themselves. You guys know what I'm talking about. Picked up the 1/2-inch impact and bandsaw both today, one of the SDS, but no luck. If you type in the zip code, let's do the old zip code for Hearst, which is where I used to live. You could try a 76053 or a 054, which is Hearst in Texas. And that'll put you to the Dallas, the Fort Worth, those stores there. You might be able to find the SDS in Dallas. I know that there's still about 320 of those battery starter kits, but it doesn't matter. Oh, you picked up the Klein toner. That's a good toner, man. The Klein toner is good. I was actually wrong about the T5 for this video is coming out. So we've got the T6 here, the 600. Notice how it says 2K ohms. If we look at the T5, this is the 1000. This is not the Pro, but this is the 1000. It says 1K ohms. I seriously thought this thing did 100,000 ohms. And I would have not have bought this. Yes, buy the ET450, absolutely. The ET450 is really, really good. It's going to detect live circuits. It's going to read through conduit. It's going to detect things underground. And it's going to get you a lot closer to your problem. Your toner is still very good, but you kind of need both. So yeah, at the end of the day, I made this video. I was talking in Discord to a couple of people, and they were asking, how do I get the deals? How do I add the thing? Sometimes you got to disselect whatever that they're trying to give you in the first place, because they'll say you can only pick one of the two. So if you're under the issue where you get the error, it says you have too many in stock, or not too many in stock, but too many in your cart or whatever it's doing, go back and try to disselect whatever was previously added and then try to add the one of your choosing. I ran into that issue a lot where it kept trying to put me back onto the SDS. But I already ordered the SDS yesterday. So as of 3 days ago, I will have a new sander, a new SDS, a new drill, a new impact, 2 new batteries, the multi-tool, the recip saw full size, and then I've got the SDS coming, and I've got a rear handle coming. And now I've got another 2.5 amp battery coming, and I've got another charger coming. The T6 600 is probably the one that I'm going to keep. I'm already returning this one. I bought this this thing hit the house less than 2 hours ago. It's already going back tomorrow. So I'm going to be dropping a video with all these multimeters in there. And we're going to show you which ones are good, which ones are bad. What's pretty interesting, I'll give you guys a sneak peek here. I don't have... Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate you becoming a member, dude. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. I can't put this into a tripod very easily unless I have the tripod here. I thought I had one here. I do have one here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see here. So what I've done is I've actually taken an extension cord and I've stabbed it into the earth to get a high resistance. And something very interesting happened. My goodness. How much electricity can a windmill make? You know, I don't even know how much a windmill can make. Probably enough for a couple of houses, dude. A windmill's pretty beefy. Quite a bit. The pouch for your installs, what are you doing specifically? Are you residential? Are you commercial? We'll take this. So what I did was I took an extension cord and I stabbed it in my front yard. And then I took the black wire and I wired it to the ground in my wall. So if we look here, I've actually got the black wire going to the ground in my wall. It looks very crazy, I know. Thank you. Then I've got the ground tied to the ground here on the extension cord. So what we have basically is, let me see here. What is that? Is that a... You need a multimeter for electrical troubleshooting and HVAC. What do you recommend? This one right here. I will show you. First, we got to show you this. So first, we'll show you the multimeter that you need, because this is the field piece. I appreciate the support, man, a lot. Thank you. This is the fuel piece, the SC440, wherever the heck it is right there. It's got all the features that you could possibly want. It has inrush. It has a flashlight built in. It has lead storage. It has a magnet. It has non-contact voltage detection. And it's very accurate non-contact voltage. It's not questionable. Like when you get close to something, there's no question whether or not you found it. Right now we're on the neutral side. Over here is the hot side. Very close to it. Now we found the hot. Works really good. Better than most of those sticks. You get the temperature, you get NCV, you get the microfarads, I think that is, for capacitance. That should be, yeah, there's capacitance. That's the micro symbol right there. That means micro. Then you get your continuity, your tone, and your diode off. You get your hertz for VFDs and things like that. You can see the frequency. Then you've got your AC and your volts, DC here, auto selecting. Nope, that's wrong. AC, that must be amp, sorry, my bad. We get amperage and voltage simultaneously. So if we hit select here, we can actually see where we get amps and volts simultaneously on the screen. Then we got DC. Then you got hertz percentage. And then you got microamps, which is good for the flame sensors for your furnaces. So this is like the most loaded meter without spending more than $220. This is a very good value. And then of course when you put in your probes here, that's for your temperature, and it turns these off so you are extra safe. That's your temperature probes there. The T6, it's a good meter. Doesn't have enough resistance. So this is what I'm going to show you. And only if you're troubleshooting are you ever going to understand this. If you're doing basic installs, and what you usually use is where you're just checking wire that you just pulled, and it's brand new wire, and it's going to have very little resistance. This is probably all you'll ever need. But if you're doing troubleshooting, you're going to need something with more ohms. This only reads 2,000 ohms. And I hate to spoil my own video, but I will show you here. We're going to select the ohms here. And what you're going to witness is this thing not capable of reading too many ohms. So right now, we definitely have the continuity selected. Let's see if I can set that right there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here and here, definitely have continuity. Also here to the ground. Now remember, I've stabbed the other end of this piece right here into the earth in my house. So basically we're reading thousands of ohms across the dirt to my service, to the neutral, to the equipment ground bar, then to some SER that runs to another sub panel inside my garage, then on that ground bar, then on the local branch circuit equipment grounding conductor that runs to the walls, to the receptacle, and then to here. So we're reading thousands of ohms. Here we go. So we're going to touch here to the ground, and we're going to touch here to the hot, and you're going to see we don't get anything. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I got my microphone on my hat. I'm going to bring it closer. You can hear it just barely try to make a noise. Listen. Can you guys hear that? So what you're witnessing is the resistance is so high that it just can't read it. It just flat out can't read it. It won't do it. If we take an ideal here, which has a little bit more capability, or even this, where is it? Yeah, even this guy here has more capability than that $300 fluke meter. So we're going to take this $50 Milwaukee here, and You can see where we get continuity. And when I touch here and here, you can see where we actually get continuity, which is pretty crazy. Because we're not going to get to see an ohms reading because this is a auto sensing meter, so it's basically a piece of crap, and it can't read high ohms. But if I put this into my ideal here, we can actually see how many ohms we're reading. And we're going to get... Stop that. Let's see what we get here. Okay, no light on that one, but you guys can see it. Okay, so we got continuity there. This may or may not beep. Let's see. It beeps for half a second. So it beeps once and then it stops. That's all we get. So if you're in a house trying to track down is a ground and a hot shorted together, you're going to get one beep, but you're not going to get the full story. See that there? If we actually select to arrange here, we're ranging in ohms, and you can see the ohms display there. I can tilt this for you. So we can get an ohms reading there. There we go. We're getting some ohms. So if we hit here, you're going to see close to 5,000 ohms, my guess. 3,000, 4 point something. It's ranging pretty quick. Not as good. Still not a bad meter, but just not as accurate. You can see where it's really trying. It's flashing on and off. I'm holding steady right now, and it's trying very hard to read the ohms on there. If I take my field piece multimeter here, which is made for HVAC, made for condemning compressors, because when you have high resistance on the windings of a compressor, it usually, means that it's shorted to ground, or the windings are touching each other, and it takes a lot of resistance to be able to measure that. So right here we are auto selecting into ohms here, and we should get quite a bit. Let's see what we get. Ranging on the field. Okay, 8,000, 12,000, 13,000. It's fluctuating from 7,000. Okay, so we got a steady 7,000. So what we were seeing was the 9-volt battery in here already makes this a little bit superior, because we're able to push more voltage through our circuit. Basically, we're creating a circuit. This is the completion of a circuit. So the 9-volt is already an advantage compared to these at 3.7 or 4.5 volts, whatever they're running at, two 9-volt, two AA's or 4 AA's. So you can see where the ideal really can't make up its mind what it wants, and then the field piece, once we stabilize the voltage on here and we're not like bouncing around with the leads, it starts to kind of hone in on exactly what we want to see there. Would you ever test the outlet with that or an outlet tester? We can go back to the Flexo session. I had a donation and I had a question about multimeters. So this is the one for HVAC that I highly recommend. And there's one more thing, and I will give this away because this is part of the video coming out. But this is really good to know, and we got a lot of people watching, so we'll go ahead and tell you guys the secret here. When you are checking voltage on a receptacle, and I'm going to show you with a different multimeter so you guys can understand the frustration. So we're just going to go with a standard fluke here. This is about a $120 fluke. And we're going to switch this to volts here. And then we're going to answer the tool bag question, and then we'll go back to some flex. Let's just plug this in here. Tamper-proof receptacle wants to fight. Okay, so we are definitely plugged into the receptacle here. Here's our voltage. It says 0, so let's move these leads around. Now you can see we're getting 10 volts, but that's not right. So we're going to bounce this around. Okay, now we're getting 120, but you can see the delay here. So if I move the black slightly up, you see where, okay, so see where it's bouncing around now? where we're trying to figure out where is the sweet spot inside this outlet to figure out where the 120 is. There we go, right there. So I just got to hold still there. But look at the delay. Look how long that takes to show. I like a multimeter that tells me exactly what's going on the second it happens. I seriously hate Milwaukee multimeters and Milwaukee hand tools in general, except for a select few. But the features on this stupid thing is really good, because as soon as we hit the voltage, we're going to get an audible and we're going to get a visual. And we're going to know to stop plugging around. See, right there. Right there. See how sweet that is? You're bouncing around the receptacle. Now we know we found it. We'll go ahead and stop moving around. And it's instant, man. You know exactly when you found what you're looking for. So you would think, okay, well, this is a T5 1000. So we're spending an extra $120 for this meter versus a T5 600. Surely this multimeter would have the same features. And, you know, it doesn't. It has the light visual, which is useful. Let me see if I can plug this in without. I'm going to move this. Okay, so this one here is going to give us the volts. Turn it off first, turn it back on. And you can see the light. So when we move this around, the light turns off. And really, these leads are just really, really nicely fitted for this. But you can see where as soon as I hit the spot, the light turns on. So there is a delay on the screen compared to the light, but you can see where the light is a really useful feature. So at the bare minimum, we want to have a light so we know when to stop probing around. The T6 has a light, I believe. Let's see if the T6 has a light. I'm going to plug this in again. So I'm going to show you my trick here. What I did was I left it in continuity here because it actually gives me a noise. But here, if we go to voltage, we actually don't get a noise. We only get a light. See that? But at least we get a light. But if you really want to know if you found it, all you have to do is put it in continuity. You get that audible, and now you can switch it to voltage and figure out that you got it. So if you're tired of dicking around trying to figure out where are we touching inside this stupid receptacle, I like to put some of my multimeters in continuity. That way I get the alarm there, and then you can switch it to voltage just like that if you don't have a light and your multimeter has that feature. When we look at the field piece here, because that's what we're kind of comparing all this to, the field piece does have an audible and a visual. So there's really nothing that this thing won't do. And the lead grab on the top is really nice. Also the light on the clamp. But if we plug this in here and we switch it to volts, you can see where we get the noise and we get the visual as soon as we find the voltage. It's not a dead-on tone the whole time, but at least it beeps as soon as we hit the voltage, and it finds it pretty quick to where we know when we need to stop. And also, the display is really fast. The reaction time is a lot quicker than most meters. Fixed within 2 hours, charged 9K. Yeah, so the field piece, the SC440, is a very good, affordable meter. You've got all of the features of the Fluke and more. Like if the Fluke had these features, it would cost $700. This thing is $200. Never had a UEI. I messed with some UEIs back in the day. Should find a non-tamper proof. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the field piece is actually amazing. Okay. Interesting. 22.5 volt battery was used for resistance. Nice, Jonathan. That's interesting. Okay, so I asked somebody, you learned so much from my channel. You've lost a neutral. Can I show you how to find it using the Klein toner? Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Trying to think, how do we want to do it? We could probably use this right here to do it. We'd have to figure out where the neutral is. Let me answer your first question, right? You asked about bags and what pouch. So are you doing troubleshooting, or are you more in commercial, or what are you doing? There's a knockoff Vito that just came out that you might be interested in. It's down here. You got a Mellow Tough here. This thing's like 25, 30 bucks. And it's like a copy of the Vito MP1X. And it's actually hilarious. Pockets aren't quite the same size, so I'll show you the comparison. And then I'll show you another option here, which is also pretty good. And then I'll show you my current loadout, what I actually like. Didn't see the notification. Troubleshoot and install. Are you commercial or... What's up, Travis J? I might know Ben. Does Ben work for Klein? Troubleshoot and install electrical. Residential. Okay, yeah, so this is probably the perfect pouch for you then. Lighter weight. These are good, man. They just get a little bit bulky. You can see the difference in the thickness. You can just see how much bigger one is versus the other. How much tighter this is to your body. These are good too. The Mellow Tough. It's let me switch this bag around. So we got our full pair of Kleins. This is a $20 pouch. Your screwdrivers fit in there, and they actually have retention. Like, you would think for a cheap pouch that your screwdrivers just fall around, but they don't. So we've got the Kleins there. You got screwdrivers. You got diagonals. That's a cheap, quick option. Not the best, not the worst. That's just one single pouch. TV's loud. Then you got the Vito here. Vito is obviously about as good as it gets, man. The Vito is very good. You've also got full size right here, so you can actually fit things here that the other one won't. And I'll have to grab my other bag to show you that here in a second. But yeah, you've got the full size for like even the thicker tools here, like the hollow nut driver right there. See where that fits? It's got good retention. Load these up in the back here. This is like my favorite screwdriver. So this goes here, and then these bits just go here for storage. And then if you really actually use your pouches and stuff, your levels will fit in here. It doesn't look like they will when you first buy this, but if you actually use your pouches and you train them, your levels will fit in both sides. I usually don't put my level on this side, but it will probably go. because I put other things. And that's with the screwdriver in this pouch. But my level usually goes on this side. And that's a Work Pro level. That's $8 on Black Friday. Good enough. I like the climb ones for 30, but for $8, extra level is also good. The magnets on it, decent enough. So that's a good option. But this thing's $100. So you can take a $10 Mellow Tough and a $20 Mellow Tough. You can put this in here as a pocket stuffer. And then you wind up with an actual spot for your clients that sits right there. And then you can put this on one side of your leg and this on the other side. And then you kind of got, you know, a pretty good little setup there. You got even more screwdriver storage separate, just to go minimalist. Putting all my tools everywhere they don't go. Then you got this Mellow Tough here. This is the lightweight one. That's 30, I think. They fit there. Not quite fit there. You can see where that's not going to really be great, because you want about that height to really be happy with whatever you're putting in there. So, oh yeah, that actually works. This. Now, this is where you kind of run into the cheesiness of the knockoff, because you're not going to be able to fit like everything here like you can the other one. You can fit some stuff and you can train some stuff to where it works. Nothing's as good as a real deal, but it's considerably cheaper. Now, let me show you my setup. What's up, Shaka? What's going on? You want to get the BK120? The BK120 is really nice. Let's see here. Okay, let me show you mine. So this is my current setup. I like this setup a lot because it creates its own kickstand. So right here, that like makes its own kickstand, like that. And then my Milwaukee compact usually goes in here, but I have it in my car right now. But we can put a slightly bigger impact, that's 12 volt. That goes there. Tape measures here. This actually pops right out. And then this is a Mazzo. So they got the Mazzo X with pockets in it. I know they do. But this makes more sense for me because I can slide this piece out right here. Oh, it's actually magnetic in there, but I can pull that out and see the magnet right there on the back of the Vito. I had that snapped to the inner side of here, but you don't have to snap it. But yeah, that pulls right out. And now you've got tools on both your hips. Slide that somewhere else. Wire nuts, whatever you're doing. Very, very lightweight. There's nothing more lightweight than the Diamondbacks. So that's what it is. The Diamondback Mazzo is the style, and Diamondback is the brand. And this is a really, really nice setup. And then what I did, you can snap the Velcro, but I've got what they call the Mad Pack. So the Mad Pack is a clip that goes on any tool pouch so long as it reaches. But the Diamondback has the Velcro. Like some of the best Velcro that you can find. And that just goes around any belt. Mad Pack's a little bit bulky, but it contours really, really nicely to your body. Like in the curve, it's really comfortable. So that's the Mazzo, and then we got the part of the SC45 kit or part of the SPMC kit right here. That's like super lightweight, and that's 2 pouches. And then it fits in this pouch. So this pouch, we got the plug tester there. We got a level. This is the Wrangle. This one's a little bit pricey at about 120. But I've also got the Mad Pack on this. And then a multimeter fits. I was rocking this Klein, but I mean, you see in the video, dude, I'm not rocking this Klein anymore. But it used to go right there, but for whatever reason, man, this thing stopped reading high ohms. So I don't know. We can look at it right now. Let's look at it right now, see what it's doing. Let's see here. Pull this out. Put this in there. This thing's rated for 370,000 ohms. 370K. That's what this thing's rated for. For whatever reason, man, it won't read high anymore. It used to. It used to read really high. And now it's like busted. Nothing. We used to get a light on here too. Let me see. Yeah, we used to get a light, I think, whenever we had voltage too. Is there a light in there? No. That's the light. That's the other light. But it's like, man, I swear this thing used to do something more. It just doesn't work anymore like it used to. So, I don't know. It's weird. I wanted to really like this, but now I can't even recommend it. It worked good for a couple of jobs. It seems like just stop working. You get what you pay for. Yeah, absolutely. Check the fuse. It's not a bad idea. It definitely works as far as reading voltage. It just doesn't read high ohms anymore. I already changed the batteries on it. There's a fuse that needs to be changed. You might be right about that. Let's see. I have a feeling this is not the right size. It's not. Let's check it out. I also like these little screwdrivers because look how fast you can spin this. So I use these screwdrivers without the actual handle a lot of the time. You can spin them so fast and you get the control. Somebody says there's a fuse in here. We don't really have anything to lose, so we'll go ahead and entertain that idea for now. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just going to pull out the outer 3 screws. I think the middle ones are probably the inner screws. Let's see. Nope, we need to pull out all the screws. This one too. And there's nothing on the back side. Don't dump the screws. Let's see here. There's a fuse there. No, those are resistors. That's a fuse typically, right? That's a fuse. I think that one's a fuse. What's up, Jacob? That says D2. That K50 right there might be a fuse too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see any. This kind of has a little black spot on it, but it could just be. This is what would ramp up the voltage to give it more capability of putting out up to 50k ohms. Resistor. Those are all R's, C. That's the LED. We could try that D2 right there. Q. Hate to say it, but prove to everybody that outlet on your workbench you're messing with is active and live power. There's no wires or screws. So this is for continuity purpose. Damn it. This is for continuity purposes only. There is no voltage on this. It's the black is plugged into the wall. So let me show you. Oh my goodness. The black is plugged into the ground hole here. So what we're actually doing is I've got an extension cord to the ground. The other side of this extension cord is plugged into my yard. So what I'm doing is I'm putting basically 9 volts of battery power through the earth, back to my service, back to the neutral, back to the equipment ground bar, and then back to here, sending it to this side of the receptacle. That way I can get high ohms so we can test these meters appropriately. I'll have to mess with this later. Please close. Okay, so someone said, how do you find an open neutral? So let's look at that. How do you find an open neutral? So there's a couple of different ways. Really depends, is it in a switch, or is it in a light, or is it at a receptacle? What did you lose your neutral in that makes you think you have an open neutral? Did you wind up with 74 volts somewhere? Like what are the symptoms of it? Because it really just depends on where to start looking, I guess you would say. Put these batteries back in here. I need one more battery. Receptacle was 30 volts, so that's even easier. So see, does it work? Oh, it does work. Perfect. Okay. Receptacle with 30 volts. So let's see here. If we have a receptacle, I appreciate it, Truth. If we have a receptacle with 30 volts, let me. I got these grounds haphazardly tied together. I've got them numbered, so we should be able to figure this out pretty quick. Okay, so neutrals are tricky because they act like grounds when you go to check continuity. But there's one thing a neutral can't do, and that's be touching anything else without having a problem because it's insulated. So if you're getting 30 volts, let's say to this box, there's a couple of things we can do. That is a very good screw. Come on. There you go. Okay. Part of me wants to energize this. Do I have the means to energize this? I don't know if I'm fully set up yet to plug this thing in the wall. Got a lot of wire back here, but no way to plug it into the wall. Okay, so what you can do, you can turn the power off. And if you got the toner, so we'll use the toner, I think, is what you want to know. The first thing you're going to do, I believe there's a slice in the wall not accessible. Use your Klein toner to kind of locate where you believe the wall splice is. That would suck. The first thing you want to do is start cutting your circuit in half. So let's look at how we're going to start troubleshooting. Right now I'm looking for an eraser. So first thing you want to do, if this is your room, right? Have a plug here, plug there, and all around, okay? With the circuit on, you want to figure out which plugs have the 120 and which plugs don't. Okay, so let's say this plug here does not have, this one has 0 volts to, well, we'll do 32. We'll do 32. Not that either. We're going to do 37 volts to the black here. So we know we lost our neutral. The first thing we want to do is we want to cut the room in half, okay? So now we're going to look at this in a chronological order of receptacles, okay? And what you've done is you've cut the circuit in half, like this. Now we're going to turn the power back on. Chances are, panel was feeding the first receptacle, and these receptacles here work, and they have 120 volts. These receptacles don't, okay? So we know now that the receptacle is probably either this one or this one that's sending power over here. So now, instead of cutting the circuit in half, we can cut it down to one less receptacle. So you want to just systematically go through and figure out where it could possibly be being fed from and just eliminate all the other variables. Then once you've done that, now we can attach our toner. So with the power off, what we want to do is you want to attach your toner to the, I got too many things with wires. Too many things with wires and ADHD. Jeez. No, it's on my damn hip. Ha. Ha ha ha. Okay, I already pulled it out. So this is the receptacle that we're trying to trace. Keep in mind, I have no idea where this goes, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to find a known ground. And if you don't have grounds in your house, use an extension cord. So I could use the extension cord that's plugged into my wall. I could use an alligator clamp to an oven hinge. I've done that before. We want to attach to a known ground. Now let me show you what happens if these grounds are not attached correctly, which I believe they are, but let me get one by itself and I'll show you. So right now, we're going to isolate these grounds if I can. Yeah, this one. Chances are they're still tied together over here, so it's not going to matter. But here's the kicker. We don't, this is all floating right now because the ground's not attached. So actually we can do this correctly. I'm going to show you this in a second. We can actually leave all these together just for dramatic. Just tie them all together like this. There, they're all touching. Touching enough for this. Okay, so we got the black on the ground, okay, like this, and we got the red on the wire that we're trying to trace, like this. Now we're going to turn the toner on, and I need the wand. This is going to get a little bit irritating, sorry guys. Turn this on, and we need to switch this to the alternating, like that. We want to dial this all the way down. And we want to, now mine's going to cheat a little bit. The toner that I told you to get has a light, and that's really good, and I can actually use that for the purpose of this video. Hey, baby. Hey. Angela's here.
Hello. Quick question.
What is your question?
The older one wants to be able to stay up later and talk with friends since they're having their break this week.
Yeah. That's okay. That okay with you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Nope, just gotta go out.
I'm trying.
I don't know where my toner is because I've got so many. We might just have to stick with this one, guys. Let me try and find it one more time. Ooh, I would love to show you on the toner that I recommended. I only recommended it because it's cheap. This one's 150. And the other toner is 70. And it is usually right here. But I have moved it. somewhere else. Okay. Okay, we're just going to show you on this. It's basically the same thing, but you guys can see what's going on more with the status lights. So you can see here, we're going to turn this all the way down. And we're going to dial this in. We at least want to hear a noise, okay? So we got a noise, and we can see where we're getting a really strong signal here. And we're that far away. Like this. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find the neutral here. So we can see it's just neutral. This one's connected. What's cool with this, we can use this in reverse as if power's on. So instead of having to run back to the breaker to see if we found what our problem is, we can just touch this to the ground and we'll lose the tone and the signal. See this here? This is way better than having to run back and forth to the panel and turn the circuit on. You think you found the wire? All you gotta do is just touch it to wherever the black's touching, and you lose the tone. And when you let up, you get the tone back. See how that works? So you can almost use this in reverse to kind of verify whether or not you've found the same wire that connects exactly to this bunch. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you got a true actual ground source. So with this here, you can see where we gain a little bit more just by me touching here, because your body kind of acts like a sort of like a capacitor. See that there? So that tells me that this doesn't have a true ground yet. So right now we're sitting at about, we'll call that 5. Right there, right on it. We're sitting at a 5. And if I was to plug this into an actual ground, like this, I can do that because I'm done with this video. This is plugged into my ground literally outside. Let's see what we get. Damn, we actually got less. A little bit sketchy there. We might be better off plugging into the actual ground of the house than to the earth, obviously, because you got the neutrals and all that attached to it with a better ground. But you can see where you do get a different ground signal. Better or worse, it's still different. In this case, you would want to attach to, like I said before, the oven hinge or something like that, wherever the source is here. Can you get a false reading with these testers? Not really. No, these are very accurate. The only false reading that you're going to get would be if you're trying to listen to the light and you're not looking at the actual tone. So right now I'm actually touching the wire. And that's wrong because you're getting extra interference there. But you can see here we're all the way up to a 4. Here, you're up to a 5 there. So long as you're not toning with the sound and you don't dial this thing, if we dial this thing all the way up, I'm going to get the max signal way out here. So you want to start dialing this in here at the source. Up 1. And then you want to start searching. There's a 4 there. There's a 5 there. There's a 3. That might actually be the wire. Hang on. Look at that. We actually had the wrong wire. This is the right wire. Haha. This is not the wire. This is the wire. So if we touch this, do we lose our signal? Completely. So we're down to 1 bar here. Let me show you this. We actually had the wrong wire for a second. That's why you double check. This one here puts us at like nothing, completely zero. This one here puts us at still level 5. So this one here is actually our wire. You can see where we completely lost the signal there. So I like to use this in reverse and just touch things together and see the instant change as well. That's also really useful. But yeah, basically if you just go through the circuit and you start cutting it in half, you're going to find it. You're going to find the problem. Yeah, the Fluke toner does not have a status light. The actual Fluke toner generator that clamps like this thing here, the actual generator that Fluke makes is extremely nice. It has the shorting feature where if you touch these two together, you get the change in the noise. And the Fluke was one of the first ones to come out with these spikes like this. And the Fluke was ahead of its time for its actual generator, but their probe is years behind. This is the better probe to get, and the VDV 500 and the 123 is the better set to get just in general for 80 bucks. What's up, Josh? Open neutral. Makes me feel like we're going to see the lunch specials. Yeah. The ET450 is very nice. I believe I have a slice in the wall. Yeah, the ET450 will help you out a bunch. Like a bunch. So, yeah, I think that probably answers you guys' questions. As far as the Flex goes, because we started talking about the Flex, we'll go back to the Flex. Those deals, you really got to pay attention to on whether or not you're still selected to ship or whether you need to go pick it up. Because Lowe's has been surprising me lately. I've been ordering stuff, purchasing it, getting the confirmation, and then realizing that I have to go drive to the store to go pick it up. So I've been canceling my order, holding my money in limbo, and then reordering and shipping it. And then I've been seeing that the shipping is costing about $70. So depending on what you're getting, it can be worth it. Just keep in mind, if you don't ship it, you might not even be able to get it, period. So for me, I was trying to get the inline circular saw with the 2.5 today. And the only way I could get it was to ship it. It cost me an extra $70, so it was 140 total. But that set alone, just to usually get that, is about $400. See here, the VDV is good, yeah. Sounds like McDonald's, yeah. Should I send back the cheaper Klein toner and get the more expensive one? Which Klein toner did you get? Did you get the one without the light, or did you get the one with the status light? You don't need this toner. You can see where it does help, but you'll know, man. I wish I could find that other toner. I don't know where I put it. I've got so many things that are yellow in this room. Let me see if I can find it. It should be in this drawer. It's possibly in the garage from the last live that I did with the toners. I can go look. Hey, you going to bed?
Yeah.
Love you.
Daddy.
Love you.
Mwah.
Oh, thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Hang on, I gotta go chase her down the hallway. Like I'm gonna go eat her. Where is she? Yeah. Tickle, 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 tickle.
Here.
No.
She said, he's a good daddy.
You're sweet. Come here.
Yes, he is.
I love you. Good night. I don't know what that toner is. Oh, I found it. Okay, so we have the generator here, and that means the probe should be here. Yeah.
I do need to get her more undies.
Okay, just bye. Love you. Okay, I got it here. So let's see what that looks like. And what we'll do. Gotta switch this around. It's that one, yeah, this one's decent. Okay, so we got the ground here. We got the red there. Sometimes this one has a lanyard loop, which is actually really helpful. We'll just stick this on this ground wire so you guys can see the status. Like that. Turn it on so it's alternating. Proceed to drop it. Okay. And gonna grab the toner. Now we need to get a better ground. I'm going to use an extension cord. So we're almost ready, but I need an extension cord. Okay, we got it. Okay, so we're going to plug in our extension cord up here to a known ground. If you want to make sure that you have a good ground, what you can do is check voltage on your extension cord, because you can leave this plugged in. We can have voltage. So we'll just take our T6 here. We'll select the voltage. Then we'll go 1 in the ground. We'll go 1 in the hot. And if we get 120, which we are right there, let me hit the light so you guys can see. Get 120. 120, that tells us we got a good ground. If not, we wouldn't get 120. So we know that we have a true ground source now. Now what we can do is we can actually plug into this. Like that. And that'll amplify our signal. And if you want to make sure that this is actually plugged into the ground, we can touch this piece here and this piece here and see if we get the voltage. Because that'll tell us that we're actually properly connected. So we got one here. We got to be careful because we got metal energized parts hanging out. Grabbed a different multimeter. Oh well. Right here. And I would say we actually aren't grabbing the ground like I thought we were. There we go. Let's try the other way. We are not grabbing the ground, and this is why we check this, because you can see where this is not actually connected like it should be, because the hot is definitely in the place, right? Or did I hit hold? No, I didn't hit hold. There we go. Okay, so maybe the hot wasn't in the right place. Let's see. I'm not able to read to this ground. I'm thinking that this is not connected to ground. So you want to make sure that this is definitely connected inside of your extension cord. You can see we got some wear and tear inside there, so definitely want to make connection on that. If you're not, we're going to have a problem. So we're fixing to have a problem. We need to fix this. A couple of things we can do. We can get some actual wire. We can stick a screw in here. Let's do that. And stick a screw in here. Don't do this at home, guys. Hang on, it's too big of a screw. Let's stick some wire in there. Okay, so got some wire. We can modify this in a second. This is absolutely fighting right now, but that's okay. Now we'll clamp there as a spacer. Now we can check voltage. Put the hot there. Now we're getting 120 there. See that there? So we know that this is actually connected to ground now. Now we can start troubleshooting. Let's just float it right here. There we go. Now when we turn this on, we're going to dial this in, so we're going to dial it all the way down. And we're going to bump the button up until we see this light turn on. Very faint. We're going to see a pulse. 3 times usually. 4 times. Let me go back to 3. Bump it up one more time. Now we kind of got that pulse. And it's very faint. As we get closer, you can see where it's just barely pulsing. It's hard to see on camera, but you can see where it's just faintly pulsing on and off. Now we can go over here and we can start tracing. So we're getting the light there. We're also getting the light there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bump this down now once. We're no longer getting the light there. We're not getting the light there. Not there. And also not there. That is not ideally what I wanted to see there. We're kind of reading to everything right now, aren't we? Oh, you know why? You know why? This circuit here is actually really effed up in my house. The grounds and neutrals are touching inside this this actual circuit. Let me go plug this into a circuit that's not compromised in this house. Whoever wired this house did not know what they were doing, and the grounds and neutrals are touching. Bad example. I forgot. Let's try again. Okay, so it should be 3 presses to dial this in. 1, 2, 3. Not quite. 4. No, we're just going to read on everything, aren't we? Let's take it off the ground. We might have too much sensitivity. Let's take it off the ground. There we go. Okay, so we actually had more amplification on the ground. It actually did not help. That's the first time that I've seen that not be better. So we're just going to connect it to this ground. You can see where this is our wire here. It's toning. We go up here, we don't have the light. We go here, we don't have the light. We go here, no light. We have a pulse, but it's very faint. We go here, no light. And we go over here with no light. So it's going to be this one. It should be this wire. And we can check by doing the same thing. We can touch this to the ground here, and we lose our signal, and we let go of the ground, and it beeps again. So chances are that's going to be our wire, because we're looking at the light is what we're trying to do here. And keep in mind, you can add to the circuit to amplify it. So if I let go of this, watch. See that? But without touching it, this is the one with the light. So there's a lot of different factors that can mess you up. But so long as you dial this in to the minimum when you first start toning at your source here, you're usually better off. I'm starting to think these grounds are connected somewhere. Back here, I think I've got it plugged in somewhere this thing is already grounded. I'm pretty sure it is, the way that it acts. So that's good. Let's see here. Do I have links for the pouch setup? I've got a lot of links for a lot of different pouch setups. Which one do you want? I'll put the links after we get off of here. I'll post them all for whatever pouch you're looking for. I got a bunch of links for Amazon and stuff. So the answer is, should you send back the other Klein one? That's up to you. If you're a professional and you do this every day, you can see where the difference of 4 or 5 was actually very helpful on this scale. You want this one? I don't know which one you want. I appreciate it. It was not common to have rarely accessible receptacles at 120 volts. Oh, yeah, it is now. It's a requirement. You gotta have a receptacle within 20 feet. And that receptacle's gotta be GFCI protected now. So, yeah, the green one in front of me. Yeah, this is a Mazzo from Diamondback. And the other one is the Wrangle with 2 L's from Diamondback. And then these are Mad Packs. But this right here, this pouch here came with this. So this is the SPMC, which is a bag that loves to tip over. And it's really popular on YouTube. I got it because it was free when I bought a different bag, but really, The only bag you need is the Tech MCT right here, because it actually fits everything you need and doesn't tip over. But yeah, I don't know exactly what this thing is called, but it comes with the kit. But it's a nice little pouch. But you can put a bunch of different pouches in here to make it work as well. Yeah, I'll put some links to this live when we get off of here. I appreciate all your support, man. Thanks. Yeah, so back to the Flex. We got a couple of people in here since then. I'll talk about the Flex for a little bit. That was a glitch today. So I don't know if Flex is going away completely. It was looking like it. Like it was looking like they're just liquidating everything from Lowe's. They're like, hey, we got to make shelf space. We got to get rid of these tools. They're not moving. Nobody's buying them. Let's put on this sale. Let's get rid of all this and let's get somebody new in here. That's what it was feeling like this morning. But now that we know that a lot of those deals weren't supposed to be that good, it kind of gives me hope that they're maybe not going away. I don't know. They just came up with a 12-volt system. Lowe's just seems like they kill good tool brands, man. They did it to Fluke. They did it to Greenlee. They did it to Ideal. They did it to some of the Bosch. They did it to Metabo. They did it to Irwin a little bit. They took all the DeWalt's off the shelf. They took the Bosch bits off the shelf. Who else have they taken on? They did it to Tough Built. Like, we could write a book on how many brands Lowe's has just done away with. Now Tough Built's back a little bit, but the hand tools are not. So you got like 4 or 5 hand tools from Tough Built at the most at Lowe's. Klein is taking over now. Klein's bits are really decent. What's up?
Can we play a game together? None of my friends can call.
What time is it?
It's 11 o'clock and I can stay up until 12.
I can't stay up till 12.
Alright.
I can stay up. What do you want to play?
Roblox and Minecraft together.
We could probably do Minecraft.
Together? Multiplayer?
Yeah,
Because that's what I mean. Yay!
I think so. What does, Mom?
Okay.
It's going to be a late night.
Live or?
You know that you had the same electrical cord with the 3 alligator clips on it? You had that same electrical cord with 3 alligator clips on it. I'd have to look. I don't know. Had to go back and look. Okay, Matthew, man. I really appreciate the support, guys. We're going to get out of here. Daughter wants to play something, so I got to go. I got to go hang out with her for a little bit. But, yeah, I will post the links for this Mad Pack setup, the Mazzo, and the Wrangle. I'm going to wear these real quick so you guys can see where they sit on your hip to make sure that you're good. I'm 6 foot. So I've got the standard belt on. I don't have any other belt on. And the big one here is for my left side. And these clip inside of the belt. And you can put them just right on there. I am fighting it though. It goes there. This is not even a tool belt. This is just a standard belt, so not much support. We could clip it a little bit tighter. That's where they sit here, so they're not going to be hitting your knees. They're at a good height. They're not too low. Some of the Klein stuff swings down too low. These sit right here. The Mad Pack keeps it nice, and then you got nice handles here for the support. You can reach everything. You see I'm not down here. Everything's like right here. You got a whole, I mean, like your ET450 fits in here. Like you got a lot of space in here. So if you are doing whatever you're doing, residential especially, they're really lightweight. They're easy to move around in. Your impact sits inside of the pouch itself. You can always clip it to the front here. You can clip it up here. You can clip it, I mean, just about anywhere if it has a freaking clip. We'll take this one. You can clip that there. Clip it here. You can throw it in your pouch in case you're moving around. You got a lot of room for storage here. You got a whole nother independent pocket here that's really easy to access on the front.
You want me to hold the camera for you?
No. You got level that comes in and out very easily. You can put your hammer. You got your, I put my plug tester in here, but you could do MC connectors. You could do MC Red Devils. You could do your MC connectors. Whatever you got, it's a really nice setup. It's not bad at all. And then this contour is really nice to where it's pretty comfortable. You've also got bit storage right here for the top loops. So this goes in here like this, and those slide down like that. So you got the bit storage. Not too much you can't reach. Let's see here. So these replace my needle nose. They are the ESs from Cobra. This is more of my kind of grab pouch right now that's set up. I've got my full setup here if I want to run commercial. But for residential, this is really all I need. These are the 9-inch edition of the J2158 9 CRTPs. These have the fishtail puller, the screw shears, the crimper. They got all the common sizes. They strip all the sizes really nicely. They make up with enough real estate to make points. Can you go grab that number 10 that's in the garage real quick? It's orange.
The orange what?
The orange wire. Go grab it. It's fairly large. That goes there. Then you got the strippers. They do stripper things. It's a toss-up between these or these. I really like these Milwaukees. Not a lot of Milwaukee tools that I like. These are very decent. We had the screwdriver earlier. Oh no, that's a good setup. And then when you're done, actually, here you go. Okay, so we got some number 10 here. You can see how easy that cuts. This is number 10 copper. Number 10 hole slides right off very easily. Number 10, just like a dream. Hold these two together. See if I got enough leverage here to spin these here, because I'm going to lose leverage back here. Let me just wrap this around my hand. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. How do they twist? They make barely tight joints. Not as good as the full size, but definitely good enough. That's number 10 as well. Like I said before, man, they strip really nicely. The Milwaukees also strip really nicely. So if we go here to 10, solid right here. That's 8. My bad, guys. 10, couldn't see. Solid, strips right off. Bend your loops. They're decent decent enough for 20 bucks. Got the Volt Claw. All that stuff. And then when you're done, that just fits in there like that. And then you've got a whole pocket free. And you can slide these on and off whenever you kind of want. You know, they kind of got to pull off, but that's it right there. And it's fairly lightweight. So that's all I got. I got to get. It'll be linked down below. I want to use your links so you can get credit. All right, man. That sounds great. I appreciate the support. Let me see here. My chat froze, by the way. YouTube does that, so now I'm behind. Have you done a video on how to use the ET450? Yes. You need that set up. My channel's gold. Man, I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me get out of this light. Yes, that's the Diamondback. That's the Diamondback Mazzo, not the Mazzo X. Where are you going to post them? I want to join your Discord. All right. I don't know how to do the Discord, but family first, you're the man. Yeah. I'll post it here. Email me, conductivewood@gmail.com. You're glad you found my channel? Man, I appreciate that. Email me, conductivewood@gmail.com. CONDUCTIVE, just like electrical. Wood for electrical and woodworking. Conductivewood@gmail.com. What's up, Dan? And yeah, I've got videos on how to do the ET450. It's very similar to the toner. The ET450 is amazing. It's like dead on all the time. It's a very, very good tool. It just keeps getting more and more expensive too. When I first found it, it was $240. I think now it's like 300 bucks. If you see it for less than 300, you should probably grab it. I think it's only going to get higher. Okay, I'll post the links right now. We'll see you guys. Thanks.